In this video today, I'm going to talk about how to make getting lean something that just happens as a byproduct that essentially is on autopilot. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds magical, but trust me, it's not. And it really just comes down to identifying three things that we'll go over extensively on this video. And once you identify these three things, getting lean essentially just becomes a matter of time and it's a byproduct of those three things that you are doing, and you know why. And I mentioned this multiple times on this channel now, but those three things just come down to training, sleeping, and eating. And once you identify all those inputs based on your individual situation, you stick to those inputs, you know how to adjust and change them, and you let it just run for a set amount of time, and you don't make any harsh changes or unnecessary changes. It's getting lean is just a byproduct. And I'll mention this early in the video here, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're kind of like lost based on what I just said. I have an entire video series that literally explains to you step one from creating the plan to the last step on actually keeping those results. But it just tells you how to get lean step by step. I cover literally everything. And the whole thing and what I'm trying to get off in this series is just help you create an individualized plan for yourself to not only get lean, but stay lean in as little time as possible, with as little thinking as possible. I shamelessly plug that there because I know it actually works. And most importantly, all the shit online is just bullshit. Everybody has like a one-fits-all plan that they guarantee to get you lean with. Everything is just such bullshit, and they don't realize that there is not a one-fits-all, especially in fitness. There's a lot of individual things that you have to set out on yourself, and most importantly, work around your own life because everybody's life is different. Either way, enough of that. What we're covering today, I covered extensively in that series of just how to define those three things for yourself, how to personally tailor them to yourself, and how to make the proper adjustments over the weeks to continuously lose fat loss. But today we'll just keep it brief. But either way, the three things I mentioned in the beginning of this video: diet, sleep, and training. So everyone has a set point for each of these things, right? Or maybe not sleep. Sleep too, because sleep, some people can get away with 7 hours, some people 8 hours. Either way, you figure that out for yourself. But everybody, when getting lean, has a set amount of calories they have to eat based on their body composition, based on their lifestyle and everything. And like I said, I covered that in the video. It'll be the last time I mention that, I promise, I swear. But everybody also has a certain characteristics in the gym that they prefer, maybe exercises they prefer. It still comes down to the same volume metrics that I cover in the series, but everybody is individualized. And once you take the time to peel back these layers, you look at getting lean for what it really is, and you simplify it into these three things. Then it comes down to figuring out what are those three things for yourself. So once you figure out those three things, once you figure out how many calories you need to be eating to consistently lose body fat, once you figure out that your own personal workout regimen that hits every single muscle group in order to ensure that you actually keep the muscle while getting lean, because that's a big thing. People lose muscle while getting lean because they don't know how to train properly. They don't know what actually keeps them muscle. They don't know their own personal metrics, their landmarks, their exercises. They kind of just wing it. They're just doing what they think works. But once you understand what actually works and you build these things around your life, it simply comes down to input, which you already have. You know what to do. You know what calories you have to be eating every single day. You know what to be hitting in order to ensure that you keep the muscle. You know how much you have to be sleeping and how you can't disrupt your sleep. And as simple as that is, because it's really just three things. Once you understand those things and you give it a set amount of time of just constant inputs without worrying about the output, because you know that these inputs are going to lead to the output and it's just a byproduct, that's when it just turns into autopilot. That's when you don't even really got to think about it anymore. You have the initial plan in place. You have the initial three inputs required of you in place. And all you simply do is just day by day, take those off, take those off, take those off, eat my meals today, train today, make sure to get good sleep. All right, tomorrow, what do? I already know what to do. Train today, eat today, get good sleep. And it just, you don't have to think about it anymore. It becomes a part of your life now. And in the time when you're getting lean, it's just what you do. There's no more thinking work. There's no more, am I doing it right in this Of course, there are little adjustments you have to make along the way in order to ensure that you're consistently losing body fat. There's a lot of nuances. There's lots of individual scenarios where this person might have to do this other person might have to do this little tweak. A lot of mini tweaks that you can do, but the basis of it is just having these things just cuts all the mental waste off. You don't need to think too much. And plug here, if you do want me to just come in your life and be with you from week 1 to week 12, implementing all these things, everything that I teach in this series to ensure that we actually get you lean and you actually get results guaranteed or you don't pay, book a call down below. That way we can go over your situation, where you're at, and I can go with you on this journey, making sure that we actually get there, or like I said, you don't pay. But apart from that, like I said, there definitely are tweaks and little things that you need to adjust along the way in order to ensure the plan is even going. But those 3 things will carry you all the way there. It's still going to be the same 3 things even with the adjustments. There's nothing else you're adding. Once you figure out what those 3 things are for you, you understand how to make adjustments, which I teach you how to do in the video series. You understand how to keep up with your own progress. You understand what exactly you're doing. You understand what these 3 inputs are doing for you and how are they even getting you lean. That's when you're going to see results. It's no longer a guessing game. It's simply just identifying what you have to do, doing those things, giving it time, not thinking about it, just letting it roll, it becoming a part of your life. And like I said, you getting lean just becomes autopilot. And lo and behold, after a 12-week period of time, you've done a great deal of damage. You look leaner, your abs are probably showing, and you just look so much better. And it's not because you did anything special. It's not because you did this one workout plan. It's not because you ate carnivore or some bullshit. It just simply came down to the fact that you identified what was required from you based on your individual scenario, which is different for everyone. You simpled that down into only the 3 main things that matter when getting lean, keeping muscle, and looking better. And you just did those things every single day without thinking, without fail, for a certain amount of time, and it led you to where you are. So it's no surprise, it's no magic. It's just directed, focused effort, which allows us to get lean with as little thinking as possible. And that's what getting lean on autopilot looks like. It literally comes down to that. It's as simple as that. It's not, it doesn't need to be more complex. This is what getting lean should actually be like. Achilles here, guys. Happy to bring this video. Like I said, if you do want me to come in your life and implement every single aspect of this into your life, make personal adjustments based on your situation, tailored a plan directly for you, get you lean, book a call down below and see where you're at, and we'll get you fucking lean. Either way, guys, it's going to wrap up this one. Have a good one.